Well, let's get into the KD talk. The Los Angeles Clippers apparently blew away Kevin Durant in a 4-hour presentation. Steve Ballmer is basically crying at the presentation. A big lesson was learned. Is it possible KD goes to the Clippers?
That's bizarre. You know,
I don't know.
They can work some magic. He won't take a max contract, obviously, because they can't afford to give it to him. So you have to shuffle some pieces. I think the big thing is, look, big three, they're like, oh, we've got a big three already. Come be our fourth. And, really, you'd be the one option. It's Chris Paul and you running this shit. But I think that team would be really weird. I don't really like it. That's why I'm surprised that the meeting went so well. I mean, maybe, look, as an organization, yes, they've got great, between Steve Ballmer and Doc as a coach. I mean, you're fantastic there, but how would that ball flow through that offense? On defense, you're still okay, but you're not great. Look, I don't love it. I think that KD's got better options elsewhere.
This happening is the most interesting to this timeline, because what was it, a day or two ago? There was reports of, one of KD's closest friends said that
think he's 90%.
His mind is 90% made. And the way I sat on that news was, I am a firm believer in, if KD wanted that to get out, he knew it was getting out. Like, you don't let things get out unless you want it to. And I was like, okay, he may be 90%. But then I'm like, okay, that may be just a close friend going, he ain't going anywhere. Well, I know him better than anyone else. And then this happens, and I go, maybe that source was more on the latter end of, he's not going. I know this guy like the back of my hand. I've hung out with him countless times.
See, I think he's not going anywhere. I think you can blow him away, and maybe and Dave said this on the last podcast. It might be something for next year. He's scouting for next year. It's not for this year.
I think he's going to do a 1+. Yeah. A 1+ contract with OKC. I think he's staying at home. It's the most money available to him if he sticks around.
The biggest thing is the Thunder get the last meeting, because it kind of...
Well, the Thunder had the first meeting, too.
And that's the big thing. When you're watching a presentation, when you're watching a movie, when you're doing... you're at a concert, the things that you are bound to remember the most.
Right.
What you saw first, what you saw last. Thunder. So, I mean, right there on that side... the edges to
Plus,
the Thunder.
they've done the most this offseason to impress out of these teams
they've
available.
Actually made moves and can say to him, hey, we're not waiting for you to make a move. We are doing this to help your decision come back. And if I'm Russell Westbrook, I'm just being serious with him. Not in the meeting. I'm saying just one-on-one. Dude, give me one last year. And then me and you can decide together what the fuck we want to do.
I mean,
let's do it together, ride or die, bro.
Well, let's talk about this, because I mean, if we're not talking about this season, we're talking about next season. If we look at the top 3 teams for this season, obviously it's 90% for the Thunder, and then we have 10% to divide up. What other 2 teams do you say are those? I could see Kevin Durant going there.
Next year, you're saying?
No, this year. No, okay. I'm saying this
year. Golden
year.
State is definitely the most attractive option. You're
championship.
A team that...
they had a 3-hour presentation with them, and it went very good.
Yeah, a team that, came within seconds of winning a championship. They set the win record for the regular season. It would be unfair to watch that team, on the court. Are you kidding me, for a regular season? That would be phenomenal. I don't think there's any way that...
And if this is a scouting thing for next year, like you've said, Dave, I have to give the nod to any nod like outside of OKC.
Not away.
Got to give it to the Warriors, because the Warriors could say, hey, you know what? We understand this is you scouting out for next year. Andre Iguodala might not be here next year because he's getting older.
Bogut
you could
too.
fit that
Bogut's
role.
Got a year.
Yeah, no, but KD's going to fit the role of Andre Iguodala.
No, you fit the role of Harrison Barnes.
You could come in there and you could fit into his spot as a starter. He wouldn't come off the bench. No, I'm saying like the kind of player. The kind of player. I don't see KD and I see Harrison Barnes. I see.
I love it. I went from I thought Harrison Barnes was a power forward for about 8 seconds to now you think Andre Iguodala is a starter.
No, I didn't say he was.
We've been talking way too many players. It's no one's fault. I mean, but
I wasn't saying he was a starter.
Anyways.
I say stupid shit, but come on,
guys. You had Kevin Durant to that team. They're going to win like 80 games. It's just not fair. No one would watch.
I think if we're looking at this team, I don't think the Clippers are going to make that big of a move, because Chris Paul is a free agent next year.
What, Doc's not going to sign his own kid?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
How much of an asshole would that be?
I think he's meeting with
Dad, are you not paying me?
He was meeting with the Magic or the Pelicans or something. I don't understand.
All I can think back is to the Game of Zones. Maybe I can start next year. We'll see, son. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Did you play in Doc Rivers' backyard? Yes, we will sign you to a contract.
Did you beat us in the playoffs? Yes, we'll sign you to a contract. Did you used to play for me in Boston? We'll sign you to a contract. That was one of the best things on ESPN in a while. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't see him going to LA. I mean, Chris Paul's leaving. I think Blake has an early termination on his contract. I feel like it's just too much. What if they're for KD? Miami, it is Pat Riley, but I don't know.
But they don't give him the best chance to win.
They don't.
I feel like going to Miami is a step back for him because OKC is much better loaded right now to make a run at championship. I think the only reason you go to Miami is purely for Pat Riley somehow does some voodoo and, you're like, yeah, I totally believe you. We're going to win this shit.
We also got to throw in LeBron there. I mean, if we keep calling it LeBron's East, and it has been. So, I mean, if we're saying, Miami doesn't give them the best chance to win, I don't think that means Boston's going to give them the best chance to win unless they get Al Horford. Then that kind of makes them a little more appealing. And then if they have a good year next year,
they can somehow,
Thomas consistent, and maybe Jaylen Brown shows something, then obviously we'll see that there. San Antonio just seems like they had a short meeting with him. I don't think that went too well.
Yeah, so, I think that kind of says it all. I mean, I understand Pop's, hey, come here. We've won the most. Look, our franchise is fantastic. We're a well-run organization. But at the same time, you're like, you got a bunch of aging veterans. Your two young guys are good, but also fill similar roles. So
that's the thing. I mean, LaMarcus doesn't like playing the 5, so I mean, you'd have to move to the 5 there, or you'd have to put KD at the 4. I mean, it's
KD at the 2.
It's a mess there. Yeah, or Kawhi at the 2. I mean, it's kind of a mess there. It's really just Golden State or Oklahoma City. So
I think that's what it comes down to. Yeah.
If we're talking about the start of 2017, or let's talk about the start of 2016, I think we all agree that it's going to be the Thunder.
Yeah, it's his best chance. It's the most money. There's no reason to go anywhere else.
27.
I mean, he stays in the Thunder, and then next year we do it all again.
Do you think next year is going to be him and Russ? Just the question mark of them touring together, them splitting up.
The way, if they make the finals,
we're doing
they
what
stay in
ifs.
OKC.
Sorry.
If they make the finals, make it or win it, they stay in OKC. They don't make the finals or anything less, they're both gone.